Cornwall's got a rich history of geo-resources, and geothermal is one of those resources. Because we live on a granite batholith, the rocks underneath us are very warm. That resource provides us with opportunities to decarbonise our heat, but also generate baseload power.
Heat has really lagged behind electricity and transport for decarbonisation, but it's one of the biggest energy users, and it accounts for 37% of greenhouse gas emissions in the UK. Heat is really essential to decarbonisation and the race to net zero, and geothermal is one of the very few technologies that can be scaled so that it can heat a whole hospital or a whole Eden project.
We ran a lifetime carbon assessment of the United Downs project, and that showed that we can actually get less than 15 grams of CO2 per kilowatt hour of energy that we produce. Now, just to put that in a bit of context, the UK's national grid electricity 2023 was about 207 grams of CO2 per kilowatt hour. So you can see there's this huge potential to decarbonise the UK's grid from just a single project alone. 5 megawatts of geothermal electricity will be providing a baseload of power. This means it's running about 95% of the time. So that means that we can actually produce enough electricity for around 10,000 homes. If we can then start multiple different projects generating tens of megawatts of geothermal electricity, we can really help decarbonise the whole country. So far at United Downs, we've drilled 2 deep wells down to almost 5 kilometres depth and a bit over 2 kilometres depth. And what this has created for us is a geothermal doublet, and that means that we can produce deep hot water from really far underground, use it to generate electricity at the surface, and then put it back underground again to regenerate and keep producing renewable energy.
Cornwall's absolutely captured the attention of geothermal industries across the globe. We now have 2 working projects. One of the projects is delivering heat to our largest tourist attraction, Eden project, again, globally recognised.
Eden Geothermal has just produced the first geothermal operating plant in the UK for 37 years. And we are getting the Eden project off gas. One of the really great things about geothermal is that it has incredibly low visual impact. We have 2 containers and a wellhead, and that will heat the whole of the Eden biomes, very large commercial greenhouse, and a distillery.
GEL have agreed with Cornwall Council to help pursue the Langarth Garden Village district heating scheme. And what that means is the excess renewable heat from our United Downs project, which is available to be piped off to district heating systems, can be delivered to the new housing development. That will be providing heating for almost 4,000 homes. That project recently received £22 million of government funding through the Green Heat Network Fund. So again, there's been some real confidence shown by national government, and it's really hopefully going to kickstart that project.
I think all of these added benefits from where we started from an R&D project have been enabled by understanding where the investment is required and where government can support local areas to develop these technologies. So local and national policy changes can absolutely influence the speed at which we can make the changes.
The Netherlands only started in 2018, but they've got more than 20 projects a year. They've put €2 billion into geothermal, and they expect to get 25% of their heat greenhouse gas savings from geothermal by 2050. Geothermal heat can be used in a third of constituencies, about half local authorities, and over 113 NHS hospitals. There are a lot of really good decarbonisation grants, like the Public Sector Decarbonisation Fund, like the Green Heat Network. And if geothermal is thought of when these grants are designed, that would be really helpful, because it will mean that we are able to build up the industry until it's fully commercial.
It's been a really exciting couple of years for us at GEL. Of course, got the development of the United Downs project, which is our sort of flagship demonstration of geothermal power in the UK. We've also got planning permission for 2 new geothermal electricity projects down here in Cornwall as well. And we also have registered some of the highest concentrations of lithium within our geothermal fluid. So there's lots of excitement surrounding the development of a potential lithium resource too.
We really are in the middle of a renewables revolution. Since 2012, the cost of renewable electricity through wind, and solar has just tumbled between 60 and 90% depending on the technology. Whereas heat really hasn't. We're stuck with a high gas price, and we want to be able to do the same thing for heat as there's been done for electricity.